Not So Perfect Parenting. I said every night until the end of this year, I am going live. And I have had a day. It was a good day, but I'm not used to a lot of physical work. And today, your girl was putting in some physical work. And I am grateful. Little sore, but it was much needed. And so I am a little sleepy and tired, but guess what? I'm still on this live. I'm still going to live to y'all because I came home and my husband told me a story that I have to tell y'all. And we going to talk about it because I want to encourage the parents to not raise your children like this. And I know that people they're claiming mental illness and all that, and I do think mental illness is real. I absolutely do believe it's real. And I also do believe that it's not always a parent's fault for the way that their kids act. Some parents have done a phenomenal job trying to make sure that they raise their children in truth and light and spirituality and all that good stuff. And then some of the kids just decide that they just go wild out. And, you know, that's what they do. So, with that, my husband told me a story today about a young girl who was 22 years old, and it doesn't shock me because nothing here lately seems to shock me because people are literally on edge. If you've ever seen that movie, I think it's called Unhinged, and I don't know who the actors are, but I came across it one time and I went ahead and I just stopped and watched it. And y'all come on in because usually this channel is jumping. Now, my date with the plate live live was actually pretty decent today. We had some people on there and comment, and not all the comments were very nice, but it is what it is. So y'all come on in here so you can get this story and you can get some advice. So anyway, one of the movies that I remember watching, it was called Unhinged, and there was a guy, the main character. I can't remember exactly what was going on with him. Hey, how are you? I can't exactly remember what was going on with him, but he was having a freaking bad day. And this lady in traffic said something silly to him. And you wouldn't think a comment, and this is going to go into my story that I'm about to tell y'all about this 22-year-old. Because the 22-year-old went berserk. And somebody, it was very bad at the end. So I'm gonna tell y'all, but I gotta say this. So the movie Unhinged, the guy was in traffic. The woman said something to, "Hello, how are you?" The woman said something to the man, and the man just went nutso. Like he was chasing the woman. I can't remember if how it ended, but I think she might have unalived him, but I can't remember. But he chased her and like did all this stuff just because she said a comment in traffic. So crazy. So this is kind of how this story went. I came home today and my husband was telling me that it was actually, it was two ladies, but one of the ladies had a daughter. And so this lady is in her 40s, and the other girl was 22. And I don't know how old the daughter was with the 44-year-old, but either way, whatever. Just know it was a mom and a daughter, and then some girl that they don't know, 22 years old. So they go into a store, not the store they ended up in. They go into a store, and the lady who was in her 40s decides that she's going to open up the door for the 22-year-old. Being nice. You can't even be nice to people in 2025. It's ridiculous. So, anyway, this lady is nice, and she holds the door open for the 22-year-old. The 22-year-old just walks through the door. So when she did that, when my husband told me about it, I said, "Dang, she didn't say thank you." Like that was my first thing, because if it had been me, I would have been like, "Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it." And I also would have grabbed the door for somebody else, cuz that's just what you do when somebody's being nice to you. Just say thank you. You either walk through the door, thank you, Or thank you so much, and you hold the door open for somebody else. Is that so daggone hard here in America today? It's crazy. So anyway, he says that the girl, the 22-year-old, just walks through the door. And then the lady who's in her 40s, we're probably about around the same age. I'm a little bit younger, but she was about 44, I guess. And she said, "Hey, can't you say thank you or something?" And I don't know what her tone was. I have no idea. But the girl turns into Psycho, unhinged person, that unhinged movie that I was just telling y'all about. She turns into this person, and they're in this store, and I don't know if the 22-year-old starts following this 40-year-old woman or whatever. So they end up getting out of the store, and this 22-year-old girl, who is Psycho at this point, starts following her just like the movie of Unhinged. If y'all ain't seen the movie, just go watch it, or just watch the trailer. You ain't gotta watch the whole thing. Starts following this woman. The woman goes to PetSmart, just probably trying to get some dog food for her dog. She just minding her own business. They start up, whatever. The 22-year-old gets her gun and unalives this lady because she opened the door for her, and the girl didn't say thank you, and the woman called her out on it. Like, how do you lose your life because of that? You were trying to be nice to somebody who's a psycho. Like, does everybody need medication at this point? Like, what is wrong with people? You can't even open the door for somebody. I'm just so over it. So I'm getting on this parenting channel to encourage the parents to teach your children. Now, I ain't saying she didn't have a great parent. She probably did, because like I said earlier, sometimes we teach our children the ways that they should go, and sometimes they don't follow the ways that they should go. But I'm getting on here to give you guys a few scriptures before I get off of here, because it has been a long day. Matthew 7:12 says, "Therefore, everything you would like men to do to you, do to them also. For this is the law and the prophets." So it's kind of like that thing where it talks about doing unto others as you would like to have done to you. But then we have to understand that some people don't like themselves at all. So they could care less what somebody else does to them, because they are going to do it to them, just like a 22-year-old unalives a 44-year-old for opening the door for her and then calling her out and saying, "Dang, you could at least said thank you because I was trying to be nice." And then you lose your life for that. So my thing is, if we teach our kids how to be kind, if we're teaching them certain scriptures, if we're putting these things into them, and we're cultivating it over and over and over again, and we don't let this world get them to a certain point where they're unaliving people for opening the door for them, we got a lot of work to do, guys. And it does take a village. It takes the parents to start with their part. It takes the family, grandparents, aunties, uncles, all of those people to do your part to help these kids. And so I'm going to leave you with this scripture, which I thought was good, because if you say, "Hey, I really don't know what I'm supposed to be teaching my kid, and I really don't understand a lot of this stuff," this will kind of break it down to you. It says Colossians 3:12. "So embrace, as elect of God, holy and beloved, a spirit of mercy." We have to teach our kids that mercy, we have to give people mercy. We have to give people grace. It says a spirit of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, and long suffering. We have to teach our kids how to be kind. First of all, let's say this: we have to be kind. We have to be merciful. We have to be gracious. We have to be long suffering in order for us to teach our kids how to do this. Because if we're not merciful, if we are the parents that are boom, because I was pretty firm and strict to a certain extent with my kids on certain things. And so I have to show that same grace if I want to be shown the grace, and show them grace and teach them how to walk in it. So it says humbleness of mind, meekness, and long suffering. We have to be long suffering with people. Bear with one another and forgive one another. We have to bear with one another. We have to love one another. We have to forgive one another. That woman, when she called her out on, dang, at least you could have said thank you. I wish that that young lady would have said, you know what? I was wrong. Thank you. And even if she said it with an attitude, just go on about her business. She did not have to shoot that lady. That's crazy. So bear with one another and forgive one another. If any of you has a quarrel against anyone, even as Christ forgave you, so you must do. And all above these things, embrace love, which is bound of perfection. So the biggest thing is we got to love one another. We got to show each other grace and mercy and all of that. So if we start first, our kids will start doing it. And then our kids will start showing it to their friends. And then if we cultivate it over the years, we won't keep having these ridiculous things that someone loses their life because they opened up a door for somebody. So, parents, I know sometimes days can be long, it can be rough, but we have to cultivate our kids and teach them and develop these things inside of them and develop these things inside of us so we can spread this across the nation. So I love you guys. Thank you for getting on here. I am praying for you all. And thank you so much again for joining me. I'm going to be on here every single night for the rest of the year. So join me for my lives on this channel, Not So Perfect Parenting, and also Date with a Plate Live. Subscribe and like to both. And I appreciate you all. It is Regina Long with Not So Perfect Parenting.